All right, let's look at some more questions related to bonds payable, and we're starting to get into the amortization of bond discounts and bond premiums. So, we should know by now, whenever we sell a bond at a discount, we're not getting the full face value of the bonds. And so we said that we're going to take the bond discount and and subtract that from the bond carrying amount on the balance sheet, or we would add the bond premium. So it says here, the effective interest rate method of amortizing a bond discount or premium is the preferred method. Okay, so there are two methods by which we can amortize a bond discount or a bond premium, and that is the straight line method and the effective interest rate method. Okay. What we need to know about the effective interest rate method is that it is GAAP approved. Okay, that makes this a true statement. All right, the straight line method, which is the other method, can be used if the results for it are not materially different than the effective interest rate method. But the effective interest rate method, while a little more involved in the calculation process, is the approved method. Another true-false question here. It says, when the effective interest rate method of amortization is used, the amount of interest expense for a given period is calculated by multiplying the face rate of interest by the bond carrying value at the beginning of the period. Well, if we're going to use the effective interest rate, we're talking about the market rate of interest, and that is not the face rate. Okay, so this part is true. But when we use the effective interest rate method, we're going to multiply the market rate of interest times the bond's carrying amount. So this is a false statement. All right. So let's look at an example of just that. It says the designer company issued 10-year bonds on January 1st. The 6% bonds have a face value of $800,000 and pay interest every January 1 and July 1. The bonds were sold for $690,960 based on the market interest rate of 8%. So we have discounted bonds because the market rate of interest is higher than the 6% face contract rate on the bonds. Designer uses the effective interest method to amortize bond discounts or premiums. On July 1 of the first year, designer should record interest expense of, okay? So we need to know what numbers we're going to use. When we use the effective, let's see here, the effective interest method right here, I'm going to go ahead and underline that. We're going to be concerned with the market rate of interest. Okay? Their carrying amount at the beginning of the year, this is our carrying amount here. Our carrying amount is $690,960. So we're going to take that $690,960 and we're going to multiply it, but be careful, not by 8%, because we're going to pay interest twice semi-annually. We issued the bonds January 1. They're asking you for July 1st of the first year. So we have to cut this 8% in half and multiply by 0.04. All right. Now, if we do that, let's just bring our calculator over. We're going to take 690,960, and we're going to multiply that by 0.04, giving us $27,638.40. It says round to the nearest dollar, so we're going to ignore this 40 cents here. 27,638 is our answer, and that is going to be, all right. So let's go down here and look at one more question. All right, so we're right here. The journal entry a company records for the payment of interest, interest expense, and amortization of bond discount is, and we've got some choices here. We're going to do interest expense, credit cash, and credit discounts on bonds payable. Okay, so if you were there for the corresponding lecture, or if you've watched the lecture PowerPoint video for this, we know that when a bond is issued at a discount, we're going to recognize more interest expense than we're actually going to pay out. Okay, so I want to go back up, if I can, to this question right here that we've already done, and I'm going to go ahead and write this down here. We've circled the answer, 27,638. This figure right here is our amount of interest expense. Okay? But that's not the amount of actual interest payment that we made, is it? Because our face value interest rate is 6%. We have to half that, giving us 3% or 0.03. And we're going to multiply that by the face value of the bond. So actually I'm going to move that over here and say 800,000 times that. And I believe that should be $24,000 times 0.03 equals 24,000. And that is the interest paid. But remember, in the question they asked for interest expense, and that's why A is the correct answer. Okay? So, if we were going to journalize this entry right up here, what we would have for the payment of the interest would be, we would have a debit to interest expense for $27,638. We would have a credit to cash for $24,000, and we would also have to credit discount on discount on bonds payable for the spread, the difference between these two figures here, which is going to be a lot, $3,638. Make sure I did that right. For some reason that doesn't look right. Plus 3638 equals 27,638, so it is right. Okay, very good. So this would be our journal entry right here. Separate that off with a box so we can see it. So let's just see here. Debit to interest expense, check. Credit cash, check. And credit discount on bonds payable, check. A is our answer.